The day after any holiday, any significant event in any one of our lives, must be a day of integration. What did you learn on the important day, on the eventful day, on the previous day? What did you learn? What did you remember? How are you going to implement it now? Many people, the reason they are constantly in cycles, constantly in loops, battling, feeling like they're fighting demons, feeling like there's a lot of conflict within self, so much codependence, feeling like they must need somebody to be in their environment because they feel lonely, feeling like no one supports them. The reason these cycles continuously present themselves is because on the smallest, what you perceive as mundane levels of perception and reality aren't being focused upon. Days like this, the day after a holiday. It's ironic that the holiday is supposed to be about thanks when we know the true history of the holiday. But let's focus on the intention of the holiday. Though we understand what happened, because as a Native American, I'm well aware, the elders taught me. But let's not ignore the intention of giving thanks. It's quite funny how the day we're supposed to give thanks for this glorious meal that was held between two parties of quote unquote old is now met with the same type of gluttony rather than actual thanks and appreciation. We eat more on that day than we sit and fast and really just allow ourselves to bathe in gratitude. True thanks is not eating at all. Thank you for having this meal. Thank you for being at a point in time that catapulted us to this now. Thank you. Therefore I shall not eat, for you had the meal already. That's giving thanks. But let's focus on the intention. It's about gathering people together. Well, as masters, we understand that there is no other than, there is nothing outside of yourself. For if you subscribe to the ideology that there is more than one, then you must subscribe to the ideology that God has parents. As beings of light, when you go into the spirit realms, we don't go halfway with anything. Contrary to popular belief, people on this earth feels like if someone is hateful, they're going to what hell is, and if someone is loving, they're going to what heaven is. In truth, there's no heaven or hell. It's all your state of presence and your frequency. But if someone who is loving is constantly 1 foot in, 1 foot out, they will go to a place you call hell. And if someone is hateful and that's what they wanted to do, that's exactly what they wanted to do, there is no conflict within their essence, they would have the opportunity to go in that bliss-like place that you call heaven. Why is that, Nadiie? It's because God does not involve itself with conflicts. God does not involve itself with hypocrisy. If you're hateful, be hateful. If you're loving, be loving. Don't be a hypocrite with anything. So, if you subscribe to the ideology that there is a external world, if there is people other than yourself, if you have parents, if the parents you think you have aren't a pair that's renting you, but they are actually something that you see as the source of your creation, then take that ideology all the way. Because if you go into the spirit realms and they see you aren't taking it all the way, they'll be like, hypocrite, you have lessons to learn. A dog is going to be a dog. A cat is going to be a cat. An angel is going to be an angel. It's not going to be anything else. It's not going to be conflicted in its identity. It's not going to be conflicted in its ideologies. So, instead of bringing people together, people in the external world together the day after Thanksgiving, go within to figure out where there's spiritual leaks or where there's spiritual resistances, where there's a lack of spiritual security, and focus on those to the point where you're aware of them, and then will in solutions. For example, if you still feel like you need someone around you in order to feel whole, then that is not of spiritual security. That is not of God's will. Deal with that. Deal with the internal conflicts. Deal where there's multiple people and multiple forms of personality and ideologies within you that's not of yourself. Deal with that that's within you. You will find out that when you start doing inner work, there's a lot of ideologies and a lot of society's teachings within you that you have either let pass, forgot about, or still focus upon, but it's not actually yours. See, if we was to do some memory regression and we went to your childhood, we would figure out, oh, Sally over here loved to dance. Well, how did the dancer become a business accountant? And you say you're miserable as a business accountant. You said you've tried 30 jobs, you're miserable in all of them. It's because Sally as a kid wanted to dance and everyone said that's stupid. Go take some dancing classes. Keep your business accountant job, but go take some dancing classes on the side and watch how better you feel. Watch how more full you feel. See, deal with the internal conflict. Bring that thanksgiving inside of yourself. Bring that unison inside of yourself. Don't try to assist other people in this external world. They've made their decision. It's about you. Because if you truly anchor oneness in its full essence, then by definition of oneness, the divine law, if a being is of oneness and a being of oneness understands how to get back home to God, then the moment they go into God's domain, then everyone has went back home to God. This is why I say Yeshua is very, very unique and interesting. Yeshua, A.K.A. Jesus. Because contrary to popular belief, that person didn't die for your sin. Let's just get that out the way, because you're not of sin. For you to be of sin means God is flawed. God is not flawed. It's only our own perception that deems us as something that is not worthy. No, what Yeshua did is very, very important. Yeshua said, I'm not going to attain Christ consciousness just yet. I'm going to attain oneness first. I'm going to attain oneness first, and then I'm going to attain Christ consciousness. And by definition, when I attain oneness, this being would speak to the beings of oneness and be like, listen, beings of oneness, if I attain oneness, which I have, does that mean I'm connected with all that exists? They will say, yes, that's what oneness means. Okay, then, so if I, as a being of oneness, attains Christ consciousness, does that not mean everyone has attained Christ consciousness? The beings of oneness looked at Yeshua, A.K.A. Jesus, and said, and so it is. So the quote-unquote second coming isn't that being coming back. Why would that being need a body again? The second coming is you realizing that Christ is within you, or what we call God's will is within you. The second coming is you realizing that when Yeshua said in John 14:12, you shall do what I do and more, he literally meant that. For to do what the Christ did, you must be the Christ. So understand, having no conflict within you after any important event and integrating that which is love serves for you. With that, we say welcome home.